Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to my another video, and here we are covering Nest JS Microservices, and we are going to use Nx and PNPM workspaces. Nx is a monorepo and the PNPM is the workspace we are going to build, and we are going to play with all these different architectures which I have already discussed in my last video. This is the next video on top of that. We are going to talk about Nest JS Microservices using TCP, using Kafka, using GRPC. So let's continue on top of that. So here we are going to create a simple PNPM workspace. So I will not be doing a basic setup of each and everything. Here you can see a PNPM workspace YML. I will just show you the basic stuff. Here we have these are both the folders, packages and the apps we can create. Both will be the part of the PNPM workspace, and then we will add Nx on top of that. Inside packages, you can see we can create auth, config, database, loggers, send grid if we have it, logger, all these modules which we can use in each and every Nest.js app. We can put it here. I just put some random names, maybe a logger, config, database, authorization, some permissions, all these things you can put here. Okay, maybe a logger is, and if you are doing some kind of a tracing, or if you are just anything in the Nest.js, we create each and every modules. Like we use some existing modules, type ORM module, Nest.js config module, or we build some of our own modules. Let's say we are going to build our own config module, database module, where you just pass the database type and it will give you the configurations. It will give you the repositories. Logger module, you can use a Winston or you can write your own custom logger. Send grid tracing, whatever you can think, can put it as a reusable package. You'll create a separate Nest.js module, and then inside apps, what we can do, we can create our folders. Let's say Nest.js, this is the TCP service, TCP auth, okay, and then I will just create another Nest.js TCP, Nest.js HTTP gateway, because our gateway will be HTTP, and then there is another folder, Nest.js TCP. So from the naming it is clear the gateway is going to use HTTP interface, and the auth is using TCP, and the task, which is another microservice, which is going to use TCP's interface. Okay, and from gateway we are going to access the auth and the task service. So we are going to create a client at the gateway that is going to invoke, that is going to target the TCP service running on a particular port using auth and tasks. And so these are the apps which are already in the workspace criteria, and these are our simple packages. Now creating a package, I don't want to write the package JSON from the scratch, so here we are using PNPM. So when you do PNPM install, what it does is it creates node modules in each and every folder. So here this is my root package JSON. It is having nothing much, all the common dependencies for the ESLint, commit gen, for the version check, ESLint, Husky, Prettier, all these are the common dependencies which I have, and these are the scripts, npm run build and all. So that is at the root level. We already know how we can execute these commands at all the different packages. Let's say if I just do this check engine, so npm run, so it is just going to check all the Node.js versions using this check engines command. That's it. It uses the mpjs script. This is the npm module using which you can specify, okay, these are the particular versions you are allowing. Let's say this is the module I have. Inside the package.json, you need to specify this explicitly. Okay, this is my engine, this is my dev engine, and it is allowing only this. So if you have a Node.js 12 or a 16 is fine, 12, 10, it won't compile, it will just complain. So when we talk about this, what is the next thing we have? These are the apps. Apps will consume these common packages. So we are going to build these common packages. Let's say we are going to build a simple tracing. So what we need to have for this is simple open an integrated terminal, PNPM init. First of all, we need to have a simple package JSON. and then we will start adding the dependencies. Okay, I want to have the common jest config. I will just copy this ts config, package json jest config, source. Okay, this is copy. I will remove this and we will talk about this, what all dependencies we are using, because it's a bare bones Nest JS simple library, simple module you can say. And what all dependencies we need here is, if you look at the code, the tracing, we don't need this. So we are using common core config testing and reflect metadata. I mean, when you compile the Nest.js code, these are the dependencies which you need. TypeScript tslib. The TypeScript we can skip because it can reference it from the root project. There also we have a TypeScript, and then these are the types. So always check that you have a common version. I'm sticking to the Nest.js 9.0.0. So all the packages, all the applications I'm going to build, that will have the same package JSON and package version. Now here is inside a source. Inside source you will start writing your modules. Let's say I'll just create a tracing module.ts, tracing service.ts. Inside tracing service, I will just remove this code for now. So we can start from scratch. Okay, this is injectable class. We have a constructor. This is our service, and I will just say public say hello. This is injectable. I just need to install the PNPM install at the root so it can get all the dependencies, and I need to change this to tracing. So this is the scope of this module. This is the organization, and this is the package name, and you have the versions, main and all. So inside source we have index.ts. Here we are importing these module. So here what I'm doing is simply I just have a service. So here we can just call it as a tracing service. I'm just talking about how we will build the modules and how we link them. So tracing service, inside providers and inside exports, because we also going to export this so others can consume it. Import this service, and this is the tracing module. Simple. And what we will do is, this is the tracing is a new package we have added, package json ts config. I will go to the root, pnpm install. So you can see it has a 4 workspace projects, and I can see the node modules populated here. And you won't see much in the node modules because you can see Nest.js dependencies I have, and all the dependencies which are not in the root, you will see only those dependencies here. And how we do the build then? It will link those dependencies automatically. Here you can see these are the Nest.js dependencies, and inside this module this is a service, and I can just do a console.log. Sorry for the typo. Say hi. Simple method we have created inside this tracing module, and this is like a tracing package. So can we build it? Yes, we can build it. So we'll go to packages and tracing. Here I can just hit this command, npm run build. It is using TypeScript, and if you see the script, what it is doing is check npm run build command tsc, simple TypeScript, and it is using tsconfig because we are writing package and we are writing TypeScript, so we also need a tsconfig and simple package json script to build this. It is excluding these, and it is building the source, and it is generating the build output in the build dir. So inside package json, what will be the main file? Inside build, look for index.js. Inside for the types, look for index.d.ts. So this is the output has been generated that will be used by when you import this package to other place. Let's say I'm using this. Now how can I use this in the permissions package or inside a logger? Let's say logger is a simple module, and I mean there is a naming problem. Let's delete this for now. We will create a fresh logger SendGrid. Here I wanted to import this tracing module. So how can we do this? First of all, we need to check, okay, namespacing is correct. And what I will do is, either you can link it using PNPM command, or just go and put inside a package JSON, okay, I wanted to use this thing, and put all versions. I mean, logger I have removed. So this is how you will link. What I'm doing here is this tracing module I have added as a dependency to the SendGrid module. So when you do the build, first of all, tracing module has already been built. I will just go to the root again. PNPM install. This is the new dependencies added. Now go to this SendGrid package and see the node modules. Here you will see TK Sharma, and you can see the tracing has been added. So it's like a link has been created from the tracing to the SendGrid. So SendGrid is another module, and you have added a dependency of a tracing module inside a SendGrid module. Similarly, you will add a dependency of this tracing module inside our apps. So these packages can also be interlinked to one another, because we will use config module, and this config module will be added to all the places, because configuration is database configurations, tracing configurations, and logger configurations, log level, database port, username, all these will be coming from config module. So this is how we have added a tracing in the SendGrid module. Now if I just do a simple build, cd, we have a packages, and I'm going to go inside SendGrid, and I can just do simply npm run build. We can also run the build on at the root. Here you can see logger module we have removed, so I will remove it. I will just change it to tracing module, and I got the tracing module. Now I will import it. We will add the logger module back. It just right now I was not needing that. So now you can see build is successful. So SendGrid module, tracing module, and everything is good. Now when you write a Nest.js app here, and we can write a simple HTTP gateway, open in the integrated terminal, and I can use Nest CLI for that. And this is the repository which I will be using for this platform, putting all the microservices inside apps, packages and all. So you can check that out. And here we are going to create a simple package. Okay, because folder is already there, I can just rename it. And I can delete this folder for now, and I can use this one. It's using PNPM, and it will just create a simple HTTP interface for our service. It's not a library, and by default Nest CLI is creating these controllers, module, services. So it's like an HTTP interface. And now once this is there, where it has been created, okay, this is something wrong because I was creating in that directory which I have deleted. So let me do this again. I will execute the same command, PNPM. That's good. Let's skip this part. We will check back. So this is the tracing module. This is how we have added. Now what we will do is, these all are packages. These packages will be added into these Nest.js modules, Nest.js applications like HTTP gateway. Now if I want to add the dependency of, let's say, the tracing module, what I will do is I will just go to the tracing package, and this is how it is exposed. tk server tracing, and if I want to add a dependency, I will do the same thing. Here we are using common versions, so we are good. In the dependencies, I will just say, okay, you are dependent on this package, and I can just do PNPM I. Otherwise, you can just explicitly do PNPM add filter command and add this package to this module. It's better going at the root and doing PNPM I, so it will automatically detect what is the change and it will install that dependency. So this is, you can see I have added this dependency, and in the Nest JS app, let's say src, this is the app module. Here I can import the tracing module. So here I will just say, and this will get resolved once we do a PNPM install at the root. So this tracing module will also be available here. You can see this has been added here, and this is resolved. No more build errors. So now it's simple, right? This is how we will create packages. Now let's add the power of Nx to our projects. Here we are going to add all the apps. These are the packages. Packages will be as many packages you want. You keep adding them, and this is how you will import. Now we can just install Nx. I will just use, this is the PNPM add Nx command. You can just use, we are in the root, Nx dependencies we are adding, and then I'm going to write this Nx.json file. I will explain it. I have already explained it in the previous videos. Nx.json file, is it okay? Formatting is good. Now what it is doing is, these are the tasks which I want to automate, and I should be able to run them from the root of the project. I don't want to just go to these each and every project and do the build. So what I can simply do is npx nx, and I guess it's building 3 projects. Gateway build, okay, this is executing what, just only these, okay, yeah, tracing send grid end, because it found only the package.json there, and the build script was only available there, right? So it has executed these dependencies and it works fine. Similarly, there are other commands. I think we don't have the test in all these projects. Maybe it will fail. We don't have the tests available. Lint command, I can just try if it is there. It is trying to execute, that works. Okay, so this is how we will execute the Nx command, and wherever there is a dependency, it will always build the package which it is dependent. Let's say there is a package A and B, and B has a dependency on A, so it will build A first and then it will build B, and all these are caching is enabled. These are the cacheable operations, so once it will take time, and then in the second time it will just fetch the results from the cache. You can see existing output match the code, left is 1 second, it is just building this, otherwise it is fetching it from the cache. Okay, so we have added, so this is like, you can say a baseline is ready. Now we have these sub packages, we have the applications, and even if you want to start this app, what we can do is there is a start command also there, right? Start command on the gateway, and I can just type this command npx nx http gateway start. So this is just starting the gateway. Now we will just add code on top of that. This gateway just using http REST interface, and then these other packages, other applications, sorry, they are going to use TCP auth and task. Why I created these packages? So that we don't need to replicate these packages in each and every applications. Maybe let's say you have tens of applications here, and here inside a packages you can create a AWS S3 if you are uploading a files to S3. Similarly, if you are sending a message to the SNS, these are small packages you can build. ELK Elasticsearch, elastic npm module, or any kind of logger, any kind of operations which you want to repeat on multiple packages, you can put here all the types. Even that can be a simple package where you are exposing all the types for the different applications and APIs, because this package can be, when you publish this package, this is a publishable package, then this can be used by front-end applications to identify the TypeScript interfaces, right? So these are the packages can be reused in these applications. So this is all about just creating a baseline packages and the applications. Let's start our journey from the next video.